What is up, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Off the Air. What a wild episode of NXT. Arguably episode of the year. I'm freaking out. We're all freaking out. Let's all freak out together. I've got the sickest crew in the game rolling with me as I do every Tuesday night. I'm first going to toss this one straight to the DMV. To the Tuesday Night Delight himself, Shoddy. What's up, Shad?
Bro, this was arguably the best episode of a weekly NXT show I've seen all year. This is one of the best weekly TV episode I've seen all year with just all the newsworthy stuff that we could talk about, man. They put on a show tonight and yeah, I'm ready to talk about it all. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get into it for sure. But before we do, I got to send this to Louisville, Kentucky, to that guy. You should. I'm not going to spoil it. Drizzy, come on, tell us about it.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. It is Drizzy, and this is no longer the NXT post show. This is the Sexy Red TNA post show. Y'all got nothing but Sexy Red TNA tonight. I don't know if it's an invasion or not. I don't care. But tonight was on fire.
I could not agree more, Drizzy. It may not be an official invasion, but it feels like such. It's outstanding. Speaking of invaders, we got Bobby Petito in the comments already. Ready with hello, guys.
Stop. What up, boy?
He's got his twos up. Bobby, what's going on? Good to have you as always. Jabari J. London, Jabari Jondon said this episode was excellent over on Instagram. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Yeah, crazy, Sexy Red. This is the Sexy Red and TNA post show essentially today. What in the world did we just witness? We had
it definitely was not on my bingo card for 2024. Not no Sexy Red, not no Jordan Grace, not no Ethan Page.
Yeah, we had Trick Williams teaming with Javon Evans, who I put the spotlight on 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks too early. I was early with the spotlight, accompanied by Sexy Red against Gallus in the main event.
Out here popping. I'm saying out here popping ass. Wow. Wow, they are going in ham in the ring. A absolutely amazing. The crossover. We are NXT's winning. We are winning. We are
Seriously,
winning.
man. It's one of those things where they just know how to put on an entertaining show. And like if you like to just watch pure entertainment on a weekly basis, not only should you watch our show, but you should watch the product that is NXT because they clicking on all cylinders, man.
100%. We got over on Instagram, Big Money _J15 with this episode was the best by far in history has been made. I mean, yeah, it was unbelievable. The main event, you have your world champion in NXT accompanied by Sexy Red to the ring for the main event match. And then you lob on top of it Ethan Page. Like what? My face I was in shock. I mean, to have
he was shocked and in awe. Wow. We went on to the next thing because normally there's like a little movie after NXT. He was still shocked after like, what did I just watch? He had to process it.
I was like, hold on, I'm still trying to figure out. Wait a minute, did Booker T almost say AE?
No, Big Joseph almost did, and Booker had to cut him off.
Yeah, Booker had to say, wait a minute, he's not. Well, I mean,
you can't say that here.
What? First off, what a match. Javon Evans. I mean, the backstage segment with Sexy Red was absolute gold. I thought Javon Evans, we were cracking up about that during the pre-show.
Introduction to the show too, showing off the new belt, as well as being the host for the Battlegrounds pay-per-view in Vegas, man. It's a jam.
We're not getting just one night of her popping her thing. We getting multiple nights.
Hosting Battleground in Vegas.
Oh, if I can't, I definitely can't. All right, so I'm pretty sure I've exasperated my cussing for the night. But go over on my Instagram, on my Twitter, and I promise you, NXT. Go, y'all know what it is. When you see it, it's the first tweet. You already know what it says. Finish the statement. Y'all already know what it means.
Yep. Absolutely. And I like that. We've got the swear jar so far. I think you're good, Driz, but any more, and then we'll work on the swear jar. I'm kidding. you, you're good on
We gotta get me a bleep button or something like you
Yeah,
out here
that's what
talking.
so
Drizzy,
one thing I'm
Drizzy
missing in
going
production.
Drizzy going to curse enough to get the swear jar enough money for WWE to re-sign Becky Lynch.
Oh, that's gonna be a lot.
They're
I'm
gonna
gonna
back
have to
up the
cut. I'm gonna
Brinks
have to
truck
cut
for
like five
Becky.
tabs for that one.
We all know they'll back up the Brinks truck for Becky. Okay, but let's actually break down the main event a little bit here. Trick and Javon looked awesome in the match. Sexy Red with maybe the most graceful pulling the title out of somebody's hands I've ever seen. It was outstanding. They get the victory. Obviously, the debut of Ethan Page. Give me your quick breakdown on that one, Shotty.
Yeah, I mean, we have the story of the show is who attacked Noam, who attacked Or Mensa throughout it, and they've been alluding to this entire situation with Gallus. Last week we talked about Gallus. Coffee has a prime time match going into the pay per view, and we thought maybe hey it could bleed over. He could be competing for two titles. Who knows? You never know in a situation, but solid match. I like seeing Javon Evans in the main event aligned with Trick Williams. I think the kid's got so much talent, so much charisma, and you're starting to see him just grow week upon week. Good tag team match. Sexy Red walking out the world champion, as you mentioned earlier. It adds a different element to your world champion because this is relatable to a younger generation, a generation that loves hip hop. Minorities like myself, man, people that are in tune to the hip hop culture, man. Like you even see it with like UFC and boxing. Like people have rappers rap them out to the entrance and whatnot. Having however you feel about her. I ain't bumping the music too heavy myself, but a popular mainstream hip hop artist walking him down. This is just tied to how big of a star Trick Williams is. Like the dude is going to take the wrestling world by storm as he is, but as he will continue to. And um I will talk about it later with my moment of the night. But I love seeing hip hop element to show because I think hip hop and professional wrestling are intertwined at the end of the day. Trick also has had battle rappers be in the stands with him. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, man, my mind is only thinking about the ending though. I ain't gonna
Yep.
lie to you. Ethan Page on record is someone that I've mentioned so many times on AEW review shows. Criminally underrated, criminally underused, someone who has an immense amount of like charisma, is a solid worker, looks and feels like a star. And I never understood after, the best men stuff with him and Scorp, why he never got an opportunity to shine. He's just one of those early stage AW guys that I don't know what happened. He just got like lost in the mix as more stars came in. And I was utterly surprised because I'm not a person that pays attention to the dirt sheets or you know maybe I forgot that he was a free agent. It didn't cross my mind that he could be a potential pickup or a one-off, whatever it may be. I love it. I love being surprised. That's the beauty of professional wrestling. That's something that we don't get a lot nowadays. And having the genuine emotion of being caught off guard was sensational. I think he fits in like a puzzle piece in NXT. This is a roster that needs a main event level guy, and I think he's a person that can fill the void. And he's a guy who's got TV experience with years in AEW, years in TNA. And I think he's a guy that is gonna. Oh my God, him and Trick is going to be a good feud because he's a very good heel and Trick is such an over babyface, and they both can talk like they can talk that cash ish. So I'm excited for it, man. 5 stars if I could give it stars.
I love it. I'm totally with you, and you broke that down perfect. And I know you're going to talk about it again later on the show too. So I don't want to ask too many follow-up questions. We got a ton of comments too, Driz, before I ask you about Ethan Page and all of that in the main event. Bobby Petito first with "It's great to be back." We got Megan with "Hey, what's up, Megan?" Grizz Company main with "NXT best kept secret in the business. They know how to feed their audience." Totally agree. Bobby Petito with "Imagine if Mustafa Ali shows back up on NXT and wrestles against Javon Evans for the TNA X Division Championship in the future."
Bobby.
That's fire.
Bobby, welcome back, Bobby. And then
Fire.
FaZe Daniel with the biggest question right now is NXT turning into NXT TNA. I actually dig that. I didn't think of that. That's actually kind of fun. And then, of course, Bobby Petito once again with "Surprised to see Ethan Page show up on NXT tonight."
We all are.
Drizzy,
We are all.
how shocked were you to see Ethan Page and inserted immediately into the main event scene? Not only that, how about the moment where Lash Legend enters the ring? We go, okay, wait, there's a little bit of time left in the show. We think we might have a Lash Legend in Sexy Red, maybe a stare down, maybe something there. A high five. She exits the ring.
Nah, it was all
Ethan
love.
Page knocks. Interesting. What do you see coming out of that outside of just the shock of the Ethan Page appearance?
First off, I knew it wasn't gonna be nothing between Sexy Red and Lash Legend. It was all love. It's been all love between Lash, Sexy, Trick, Javon the whole time. They were all just linked up. You gotta love it. But what I don't love is this boy Ethan Page. Well, first off, I was happy to see him until he knocked Trick into Lash Legend and knocked Lash Legend out of the ring. A very wicked fall too, because that was not. It wasn't the easy, the little fake one they kind of do to try and protect themselves. It looked like she went through the ropes. I'm not sure. Like I said, they didn't show it all the way, but it looked like she went through the ropes head first. Ouch. But the surprise, and I made a joke earlier in the night, like talking about TNA invading. Now, I'm not sure Ethan Page is doing anything TNA wise, but if he's not, this is a major pickup for NXT in the main event scene. The draft gutted the main event scene. They didn't take it away from the tag titles. They didn't take it away from the North American title. They gutted the main event scene. You can tell there's a big hole when you don't have anybody in your main event scene except Trick Williams and Noam Dar at this moment in time. So putting Ethan Page puts a big name in that scene, which is desperately needed. I can't wait to see that feud go down. But is it just me? Does it seem like Noam Dar is falling to the back in this whole thing? Because he should be getting the title match, if I'm correct. He should be getting a title match, but it seems like every week somebody else is leaping over him. Last week, Joe Coffey's trying to leap in front of him. Now we have Ethan Page possibly leaping in front of him. It's a good problem to have, but that doesn't mean it's not a problem. What are we doing, and who's getting the title shot?
It is weird. Dar has been robbed. And interestingly enough, we have FaZe Daniel over here on Twitch with "We're all going to believe in Joe Hendry coming to NXT soon, hopefully."
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I will say that's just going to bring soul around the show. We'll end up with Scotsman versus Scotsman. We'll have a lot of soul comments about it.
Like, why'd you clap?
Yeah, that's as much as I like Joe Hendry, we can't have two Scotsmen chasing the NXT title. Otherwise, we're in real trouble.
I feel like we should have a green screen where Joe Hendry pops up when we do that.
Yeah.
This isn't a TNA show, though.
Joe Hendry. Not yet, at least. This is NXT TNA off the air. unbelievable tonight, though. Because, I mean, dude, he's not even the only one. We haven't even talked about Jordan Grace yet, and we will. But anybody who is watching the post show, hopefully I already saw it. Hopefully I didn't spoil that. We are the spoiler-free channel. But, like, I mean, what did we just witness? What an episode. And it's so funny because the last couple weeks were good. Don't get me wrong. But this week just felt different from start to finish.
They had the big guns tonight.
And to follow a weekend of two big shows, a PLE and a pay-per-view,
Yeah,
like that, it is that much more impressive. Let's talk about the North American women's qualifying matches. It's what day? Tuesday? Shad, I guess I can't even take the segment away from you. It's Tatum Paxley.
just another Tatum Tuesday.
It's a sad Tatum Tuesday.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't got to talk about her in a while. Mia Yim, look yourself in the mirror and realize that you have no reason to be in this qualifier match. You are a main roster superstar. Your aspirations should be bigger. Why are you going for a belt that's brand new? Are you not good enough to beat Bailey? Are you not in the same class of a Liv Morgan? Do you not have friends where you can win a tag team title? But you would just have to stoop yourself to go to NXT to ruin a moment for a more well-deserving competitor whose only wish is to capture that gold. Tatum Paxley was robbed tonight, flat out. And I will not, they're lucky that there was so much great stuff that happened because I was ready to turn off the TV after she lost in the opening match. But it is what it is. But regardless of that, all jokes aside, phenomenal match. I thought both women did do what they needed to do. Mia Yim being in a ladder match makes a lot of sense. This is kind of her game, and it's good to have a veteran in it. I do want to see what is, the future for Tatum Paxley because I think she's kind of in a weird place. She's a very good character-wise, but we never got a payoff to the story with her and Lyra. Lyra went to the main roster because she's ducking and she's a coward, and she just flew her wings to Raw, but it's okay. That's why you lost to Nia Jax. Other match, Kalani Jordan and Ren Sinclair was a phenomenal match. I thought they put on a very well wrestled match. I think Kalani Jordan is the right person to be in this ladder match. And I think match upon match and, opportunity to get in the pay-per-views, she's a person that's going to climb that ladder figuratively. I don't think she might win the North American Women's title, but climb it figuratively and become like a main event woman on NXT. And I'm loving to see her development. I thought this was the best Ren Sinclair showing thus far too. So shout outs to both of them. Both matches were really good. I think we got all the competitors for this ladder match.
I believe that is it.
I'm really excited. I think we've got like 3 dominant women matches going into this pay-per-view.
Although I can't lie to you there, Shoddy, my entire plan was to send the Kalani Jordan Ren Sinclair match to Driz, but I do love that you brought it up. It's all
okay.
good.
He's sad right now.
I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna say, I don't mean anything by this, but Kalani Jordan made short work of Ren Sinclair. Drizzy, what did you think?
It's okay. Shad, here, I have a cup for your tears. I have a cup for your tears.
Well, by the way, that's okay. Before we get into the Kalani and Ren match and the tears, Bobby Petito did ask what's next for Tatum Paxley, and that's the question, Shad. What is next?
What's next for Tatum Paxley? Oh, the world. She deserves to take over the world. Actually, there's an election coming up, so I might write her name in the ballot.
Running. I like that. Write in votes.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Okay. Driz, though, seriously, Kalani Jordan gets the win against Ren Sinclair. Is Kalani your pick to maybe become the first North American Women's
She
Champion?
is not my pick, but damn it, she is going to have one of the best outings in it. In these ladder matches, you always get a superstar who basically just outshines everybody else. Maybe one or two too many high risk maneuvers. Kalani is going to be your breakout star in this match. She may not win. She's not my pick to win, but she may not win. I'm sure she's a lot of people's favorite to win, but she is definitely going to be the person to watch. She's going to be doing the most exciting things. You can't tell me any different. But we all know where my heart lies, and where my heart lies is with the one and only Lash Legend. The bougie bully is going to climb the ladder, not too high because she's already tall. All she got to do is use them long arms and yank it down. She's going to pull it down like she pulled it out of blessing in church. She got it. It's her belt to lose, and she ain't losing it. Back to you, Clark.
Well, we have technical difficulties. Clark has dropped for some reason, but
I
luckily,
did not do that. I did not do that. I did not. When I reached up, I did not pull Clark down like that. I did not
nah,
mean to do that.
yeah, nah, it's all good. Clark will probably get back here in a second. We got some comments in here though. JJ Dorsey saying Mia Yim match was a must win for her since coming back to NXT, but soon Tatum will get that push. JJ, I feel you, and I really appreciate you being optimistic here. Um, that means a lot. But her time should always be any time, even Tiffy time. It's Tatum time. Uh, let's see. Before I get Clark back in here, good old Anthony Manzano. That's a little bit harsh. I don't think Lyra is ducking Tatum. I like Tatum, but she's not on the left. Okay, okay, okay. All right, buddy. I will actually argue that if you want to argue that, because um, I think that Lyra might be a better professional like wrestler, but like Tatum Paxley's a better person, and doesn't that matter more? What you are on the inside, a
What's
better
that?
person.
You called her what? Friend of the year?
I mean, you saw what Mr. Loser Trent Beretta is doing. He lost his friendship and then he lost matches. Scrub, bum,
Yeah.
loser.
I actually give out a prestigious award, Guy of the Month. So if Friend of the Year applies, that's important. I believe in awards like
I
that.
said friend. I said friend of the eternity. Tatum
Oh, Friend
Paxley.
of the Attorney. Well, I mean, that's
Well, you know what Tatum's not doing? She's not going to win that. Going to win the North American title match.
This
Ah.
is not. This is not nice. All right, Clark.
Earlier today on Twitter, I wrote that these would have been our two captains if we were sponsoring like a War Games match. I'm picking Mia Yim every time. He's picking Tatum Paxley every time. And my captain mopped his captain.
my only issue I have with Mia Yim is I just want to say the B word, the HIBC every time. And
Chick,
we can,
head
yeah, she's the
baddie
head
in charge.
She's
chicken.
a chick. Yeah,
She's that.
we
She's
don't do
the. She's
I
the
want.
head woman in charge.
I'm
that
gonna.
word. There you go.
I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be honest here though, and like it is splitting hairs because I am a big Mia Yim fan. I think she is a person that, truth be told, is underutilized a big majority on the main roster. And I thought
No, she's
when
awesome.
she when she left, when she got unfortunately released, when she went to TNA and was doing the knockout stuff, like when they did the King of the Queen of the Mountain match or whatever the heck that thing is called, like phenomenal, great matches there. Like she looked like a BA, bro. Like she's so dope. She's so good at wrestling, dog. Like
Definitely.
she's such a good wrestler. But yeah,
And don't
anyways.
don't get it twisted when I say that on the HIBC thing. I say that because I love the gimmick. Like it was just
Oh
so
yeah.
like the viciousness, the like I just thought it was sick. Like it was BA for lack of a better way to put it, right? Like it was
And
dope.
she be giving girls like good matches. Like even on the main roster, she's like she gave Tiffany great matches. Like she's a great dance partner, man. And I thought her and Tatum's match was good on both behalves, but like if this is one of the situations I think we mentioned before. If you want to add people for the main roster, like that's the type of person that's a good addition to from the main roster to NXT because they're a good vet to be in there. and it's kind of good for them to kind of freshen up their character and stuff too.
I agree. Okay. Speaking of characters that need to be freshened up, let's run through this next one pretty quickly because I think we kind of should. It's Ridge Holland and it's Riley Osborne.
Let me go to the shed real quick. I need to get a shovel.
And it's just what do we do? What do we do? How do we make it better? How do we make it anything? I don't know.
Okay,
Ridge Holland picks up the victory. Talk to me, Driz.
How do you go from the hottest act in NXT to almost wanting nothing to do with it? Riley, and I applaud what Andre Chase is trying to do for Ridge Holland. He's trying to build Ridge Holland back up. Maybe even add him into the ranks of Chase U. But at some point, you need to listen to your team. You need to listen to your kids. You need to listen to your team. As a head coach and as a leader, you have to listen to your subordinates. And right now, they ain't feeling it. It ain't working. Riley has been on a roll until he runs into Ridge Holland, and Ridge Holland got him like that. Andre Chase, Mr. Chase, sir, we're gonna have to start doing some chops. We're gonna have to start doing some cutting, and Ridge is gonna have to go. You guys started up here, now you're starting down here. You're getting down here now. We gotta get rid of the Ridge Holland. We gotta.
I'm totally with you. I mean, we've got Bobby Petito over here in the comments with Riley Osborne should have beat Ridge Holland. I mean, it would have been better than what we got, I think.
I like Riley Osborne.
I do.
I think his entrance, he flipped in his entrance to get inside the tunnel. That was pretty cool.
We've got matching energy. Lucas Bishop over on X with Fridge gotta go. Maybe he can be a rugby coach. That's brutal, but funny.
He ain't gotta stop wrestling, but he gotta get at Chase U. He gotta get at Chase U. Can we send him?
Man, I love.
Can we send him back with Shane? Can we send him back with Sheamus?
Yes.
I don't don't do that to Sheamus. You see Sheamus's get. He was like Neo. I'm so sick of love sucks. He had the 06 Neo like look.
I had the beanie. He had the beanie.
No.
That man looking crazy. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet for you, Clark.
Yeah.
Ridge Holland is a person that may have. I don't see him. I don't know what progression we're going to see from him as a solo star. I think his best bet, to Drizzy's point, is probably being a heavy or being a tag team guy, because they've put him in a weird place, and it's one of those situations where obviously the elephant in the room is what happened with Big E, and then they try to make a storyline out of it. And then the storyline wasn't good. So then they pulled back, but then they're trying to put it again. And now they're putting him with Chase U. It's just none of it is working. I don't know. I feel like the whole empathy thing with him is just not what it is. If you're gonna use him, he's better set as a heel. And I think that's what they're trying to allude to. It's just one of those situations where I don't care at all because it's Fridge Holland. And I like Chase U. What could be interesting is this, actually. How about Duke Hudson turns on Chase U and joins Ridge Holland, and they become a unit, and they become a heel tag team.
I don't like.
And you never know. That may be a thing. Who knows? Or
stop saying things I don't like. Stop saying things I don't like.
Hang on, why not letting me exit the solo layout?
Bro, you like in a blender right now.
Yeah, dude, bogus. I don't know what's going on with my internet. This is killing me. Can you hear me?
Oh my god, the White Six are invading it, wrestling off the air.
You look like one of those. What's that? You look like a Minecraft character right now.
And I think we lost him.
I'm taking over hosting duties for the night, guys.
While we try to figure out what's going on with the Spectrum app in
yeah, let's
I know spectrum issues when I see spectrum issues.
let's let's read a couple comments that we do have in here. We got Anthony Mazzano saying, "I think that the stigma of him injuring Biggie is still there. That's why they haven't done anything with him. It's why his character is so bland. I feel bad for him." Clark, Drizzy, and Shad. So my thing is this, bro. I don't I don't think it's essentially like him being bland isn't part of the storyline. I just think he's bland. Like if you're bland, you're bland. Like that's one of those situations. Like ain't there ain't nothing you can really fix on being
Yeah,
boring. Like Clark,
yeah,
I don't know what's going on, big
Same.
dog.
Am I back?
it's a tough one.
It's
Yeah,
like
you're kind of
acting up, but it's like, is
you
it? Yeah, I can tell it's acting up.
yeah
Yes,
Do the
nah,
next segment. I'm gonna try something else.
yeah you
gotcha.
good. We gonna hold this down, man, because this
Okay, I'll be right back.
We got to invest in a Clark cutout. That way, when things
yeah.
like this happen, we got him with us at all times. Like, and yeah, the Bang Bang Gang had their
All right.
cardboard Jay
You know
White.
what? This next segment is one that I would love to do a two-man segment with you because it's about a tag team match. And obviously, we had the OC versus Idris and Malik. OC gets the win. That we knew that was gonna happen. They're
Yeah,
gonna go to the pay-per-view against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. I'm excited for it. I think that's another solid match for the card. And that's one where I don't know who's gonna win. I think you can make a case for either guy. My question is this: what can we do to finally give Idris and Malik Blade an opportunity to be something on NXT? Because I don't see them being a team that needs to be potential jobbers throughout the entire process. Because I might be alone on my mindset, or you may agree with me. I see the potential in them. I think Idris and Nofe has a lot of star quality, like in a box, like, and we haven't let it unleash. Like the dude is built. He's an athletic wrestler. He's super funny. He has a sense of charisma, and they work well as a tag team. Malik Blade is athletic. If y'all ain't know, he's Daryl Dawkins' nephew. You know, I think they got something, and I think NXT is the perfect opportunity to let them develop his characters more and make them a legit tag team. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with you. The potential is there. I really feel like they should have been in like the tag picture for a while now. They should have actually probably been tag champs by now. But I feel
Hmm.
like the other teams that come through, and like I think we talked about last week, the surge of NXT UK teams that came through, they kind of get put on the back burner because they weren't the most charismatic team. Enofe is, but Blade's not.
Right.
So the issue is now we don't have anybody to lean on but them, and we've been trained to not care about them. It's I want to call it the Dolph Ziggler effect. Like you can't
Right.
y'all can't tell us that this guy's a big deal, but constantly having him lose like this, and that's kind of what you get with Malik and Nidris. The only thing that I could think of right now that's even gonna sit there and remotely pull me back into them is for Idris to turn on Blade. I
Yeah.
see it coming a mile away.
I think it's coming
It's
too.
only a matter of time before it happens because I just see the star qualities that Idris has. I feel like he could probably be a monster heel.
You.
And Malik Blade has this innocence to him
Mhm.
that just screams top babyface. Maybe this is one of those situations where they put them together as a team and it never clicked. But if you separate them, it could probably be one of the best feuds in NXT.
It. You know what they like, and this may be far fetched, but like to me, they got like a little bit of like Street Profits, like
See, I didn't want to
potential.
jump. I didn't want to go that way because I don't want to compare black tag teams like that.
No, I don't.
But after you said
I,
that that's his nephew, I'm like, well, no wonder I feel it.
yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, uh, he's like, he's not related to Angelo Dawkins. Daryl Dawkins, the basketball player.
Oh shit.
Nah, no, but no, that's the thing though. Malik reminds me a little. Obviously, that comparison, people will be like, "Oh, one is bigger, one is smaller." Character wise, like the innocence, the being the second fiddle, the being the nice guy who compliments the other dude. We've seen, if y'all haven't watched the Bianca and Montez show, you see Montez's real life personality mirror a lot what Idris is going through in character at the moment, where a lot of self doubt, a lot of what's missing for me, where I'm not able to get things to connect, and I kind of see a little bit like of that personality, the charisma, the silliness in ways with Montez Ford in Idris and Nofe. That might be a very some people be like, you're tripping, like, who is this guy? But like, I kind of see it, and like, those are two guys that fit NXT's like ability to develop in character. I just don't know why they haven't gotten the opportunity to be displayed as winners, especially when we have a fairly thin tag division at the moment, right? So I would like to see them get an opportunity to shine. I'm gonna get Clark back in right in a second. Let me just put a couple comments in. Bobby saying, I like that Malik Blade and Idris are getting showcased as a tag team. They have potential. I like they getting showcased too, Bob. I just want to see them, be winners. Like, I feel like they could be tag team champs at some point. Um, Anthony Manzano said, do you guys think that what hurts Blade and Idris a little is that what you just mentioned, one of their characters is more of a bad guy? I mean, nobody's really a bad
Honestly,
guy.
honestly, I feel like that works out for him because you have a built-in storyline at that point. All it's gonna
Yeah,
take is that final straw for Idris to snap, and he's like, "I'm sick of being in a losing tag team with somebody who's too afraid to talk to girls." Because that's how they started in NXT 2.0. When it first started, it was him drooling over Mandy Rose.
yep.
And we've kind of come full circle to that still with him drooling over Brindley Reese.
Brinley Reese, yeah, who
And
also is another is a interesting addition to the unit as well. It's just like she's kind of like Malik Blade, like just happy, like energetic and whatnot. And like you said, I think that's gonna be the point where Aegis is gonna be like, I'm done with it. Y'all are y'all not thinking like winners or whatnot.
no,
um
that's absolutely the best. That's absolutely the best. We've just given motivation and everything. You guys are not thinking of winning. I'm not trying to sit here in the back end catering for the next 2 years after I sat here with you two for the last 2 years doing nothing but eating cake and cookies and stuff. I'm
no, that's
trying
a
to be in the main event. I'm trying to be standing out there with the Oba Femis. I'm trying to be out there with the Trick Williams. I'm not trying to be back here with y'all. Y'all might be complacent with being here, just being happy to be here, but I'm not.
and that's a guy who honestly at some point could be a North American champion if booked right too. Like it, I think sky's the limit for him and whatnot. Clark, you good now?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. The Wi-Fi's goofing out. We'll see.
I bet you want to put you back in the middle, or
No, you can keep me here. You're good because I'm topicless now. So I
I,
gotta.
I, we got it, we got it. You know what?
I'm not topless. I'm topicless.
Yeah, no
Be
I,
very
toppings.
clear.
not this
No
this is
toppings.
I am
this
No
wearing
is
clothes.
sprinkles. No
this, this
sprinkles. No nuts. No chips. No toppings.
all right. This is one that we can all talk as a family because this is something that all three of us had our jaws drop to the ground. Roxanne Perez has a title match at Battlegrounds, and we got to know who the opponent was tonight. Now, rumors is like, oh, it might be someone on the main roster. I know people were like, maybe it could be Naomi. That would have been dope. Tegan Knox, we ain't see her in a little bit. She's done some groundwork. It wasn't any of them, and it wasn't anybody on NXT. It was someone from the pond where women's wrestling also thrives. It is a current knockout women's champion, Jordan Grace. We are getting Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez at NXT Battlegrounds. Man, I gotta say, I didn't expect it. I know that there was a working relation with between them because she was at the Rumble, but I didn't think we see her this soon. Um, I know all of us want to talk about, so we all going to talk about it. I'm gonna start off with you though, Drizzy, because you are someone that we've had our debates on it about,
We
but one thing
in
that
the
we both love is women's wrestling. So
yeah.
thoughts on this, man?
So if you've been paying attention to the early days of Off the Air, it was always a constant argument between me and Shad about which division was better, the TNA knockouts or the the WWE women, the NXT women. I don't know. They don't have a special name like that because they're not special. Uh, but now a year later, we get to answer the question: who's really better? Who's building the better division? Who's representing their division better? The Knockouts with Jordan Grace, the Juggernaut, as their champion, or the Prodigy, Roxanne Perez of NXT. It is an absolute dream match. And for me, I know for me and Shad, it's even more because these are two women's divisions that we deeply care about and follow to so much that we just can't help being happy and gush over this. We love women's wrestling, we love good wrestling, and to see two of the best from different companies clash is unheard of. This is almost the equivalent of watching Becky Lynch and Tony Storm go together in a AEW ring. It's absolutely unheard of. It's unfathomable. But at Battlegrounds, we are going to get that. I can't wait. I'm still a little shocked.
For sure. And man, I think you better now, Clark. I think you're good now.
Yes.
You're looking
Oh,
better.
I
You're looking
tried.
Looking
better.
I
better.
made a last ditch effort. I made like a total.
But but we're gonna pass it back to Clark. But I will say I got a comment from Ved.xl. I'm getting another Jacob Fatu comparison on the looks, and that's a little crazy because I have a lot less hair than him. But thank you. Um,
That's
I'm gonna be
hilarious.
real. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I think this is what's best for business for professional wrestling, for WWE, for NXT, for TNA, for all of it, because we are letting worlds collide and we're opening a forbidden door, but we are opening a forbidden door where women's wrestling matters in North America, and that is on NXT and that is on TNA. And if any companies can have a working relationship and make something matter, it's those two. We know how amazing both of these women are. Man, both of these women, I believe, have had history wrestling prior to it before Roxanne was in the WWE. It's going to be an incredible match. And I'm so happy for Jordan Grace because as much as I love TNA, you don't get an opportunity to display the talent on a national TV show where everyone can kind of see it, where it's more visible and you have a high volume of viewers. How about a show where we knew the viewership is probably going to be high because we have Sexy Red on it and having her as a debut? That's a person very well deserving of it because she is one of the most talented professional wrestlers in the entire world, man or woman. She's one of the most renowned champions, and she deserves to have that spotlight on her. So kudos to NXT making that happen. Roxanne is low key having like a ill title reign. She's getting some dope opponents. Like she had Chelsea, now she's getting her. Like she's really getting some dope opponents, and they're really putting her through the ringer because they see the potential in her. And I love it. I'm excited for her. Um, Clark, what you got to say, man? Any added words to that?
I mean, look, crossover wise, I'm a fan of Forbidden Door, the concept in general. I always have been. I think you should have crossover promotionally as much as humanly possible. I understand it's harder to negotiate backstage than it is to execute in theory, but like just get it done, right? In moments like this where you have Jordan Grace's name flash across the Tron and she makes her appearance to run in on the NXT Women's Champion. are unforgettable. Did I freeze again? Please tell me I didn't freeze again. But like, yeah, I'm all for it, and I'm with you on that, 100%. How bad is my internet?
It's
It's making me mad too.
it's not too bad. It's lagging a little bit, but we can still see you and hear you, so it's all good. You're
Okay.
getting better. It like comes and goes or whatnot, but it's all good. We need you.
It's in waves.
Okay. We're working on it.
It's in waves, yeah. Yeah, I guess Virginia is the best internet place, huh? I'm messing around. Um,
Yeah.
we got some comments. Bobby Petito, our good friend, saying, "I'm looking forward watching Stevie." Oh yes, Stevie Turner versus Jordan Grace next week. I'm a fan of Stevie Turner. She did great stuff at NXT UK. She did great stuff in Stardom. I was excited to see when she initially got called into NXT was she had the little gamer Twitch gimmick, but they never she got hurt, I believe, so she's kind of been on the shelf. I think that's a good little opponent for her to start off. I'm excited for that. Man, we watch a lot of wrestling, don't we, guys? Because a lot of people are like, who's Stevie Turner? But um, we got Manzano. Is there a possibility you guys could see Jordan becoming double champion and defending both the Knockouts and NXT Women Championships at pay per view for TNA? Hmm.
I do not think that TNA wants to do anything along those lines again after what happened with Belt Collector Kenny. Yes, it does bring a little bit more eyes,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, they don't want their belts being sullied like that. It did kind of put a blow, and it took a lot to get that blow off of the TNA World Title when they did it. So, no, I don't think it's a good idea. I'm all for going and defending belts and everything, but if you have a dedicated company, that belt needs to stay in that dedicated company.
Um, I agree with that, and I don't see WWE having a wrestler lose the title to another promotion. I think it's a
Yeah.
stigma at the end of the day. I think they see themselves as the bigger promotion giving an opportunity to another star. I will say this: Jordan Grace ain't like she's somebody. Like she got reaction at the Rumble, but she got reactions at the NXT arena tonight. Them people was hyped to see her. Major pop for her. So it's a this is an equal handshake in my opinion. If we were to have one. Um. All right. We also had another. This is the last topic, and then we got our favorite moments of the show. Um. Lola Vice versus Ariana Grace. um Backstage confrontation. Ariana Grace is just such a sweetheart, and she's just giving her wise words, saying, "You don't need to mess with those rough and tough women. Be ladylike. Don't shake your behind all the time. You know, you know, know which is the salad fork, and pinkies up when you're drinking your glass. She's just giving her words of advice, and Lola Vice is being very, very scary. They had a match, man. Not too long, but I think Ariana Grace is so good at this role. She's like kind of like Chelsea Green. Like I said, man, it's like Aaron Rodgers or like no bad. Brett Favre is Chelsea Green and Aaron Rodgers is Ariana Grace, or Aaron Rodgers is Chelsea Green and Jordan Love is Ariana Grace. That might be a better one. Um,
No,
but
much better.
saw a little warm up match, little back, run in by Shayna. They got their underground match. I mean, Driz, what are your thoughts?
I cannot wait.
I bet that's me.
I can't. I can't say, why do I look like Shad? And it's like that is about. I don't think when they booked that they knew what they had. They have lightning in a bottle. You have a knockout artist and a submission artist, and absolutely, I love y'all GST. It is absolutely gonna steal the show. You are in a UFC arena. Go ahead and use the cage. Let's get some underground action going. That is about to be a incredible fight, and they're treating it as a. They're not treating. They're calling it a match. They're treating it as a fight. They are letting it go through. Like they're trying to keep them back. They're trying to keep them away from each other. And Lola Vice is doing such a good job taunting. I think it has been an absolute work of genius to put somebody like Shayna and somebody like Lola together. Because we all know Shayna is not your girl, your typical girl. She's not a girly girl. She's not shaking ass. She's not doing any of those things. Where Lola, that's all she's trying to do. She's trying to knock you out and she's gonna twerk over your head, which is absolutely disrespectful and diabolical. It is absolutely lightning in a bottle, and I really think they are going to steal the show at Battleground. It is who HBK is in. This is the bag. HBK's in here in the bag.
Bag alert. Chicken bag alert.
Like he's
Not.
in that bag. Like all I see is that meme of him dancing on the casket. You're like every time he hits it out the park with these shows.
Uh, nah.
Also,
He
shout out
he does not
GSP. I
get up.
love y'all.
Man, salute to them, man. They showing much love as they always show love on these post ups. Salute to y'all. Uh, man, people just the love is out there, man. We gotta acknowledge our sexy red for making this comment section going crazy tonight. Um, I mean, Clark, anything to add to that? Because I know you and I are both. And to your point, how disrespectful! Please
Dude,
do not, twerk over any of us if you somehow get us in a match, Alex.
Ha!
I respect it. No, no, no. I was all over. That was one of the highlights of the show in my eyes. I had no issues. Lola Vice as well. Speaking of twerking and Lola Vice, and speaking of seeing the show at Battleground, that underground match with her and Baszler, I could not be looking forward to more. The execution between her and Natty was off the charts. I loved the addition of the knockout punch there to the repertoire headed
That
into that
was
match as far as the build is
Yes.
concerned. That was just a nice touch, just a nice addition, a nice little extra part of the equation. I'm excited to see what she can do. I'm excited to see. I mean, honestly, I think Lola Vice's future is in stuff like that, in wrestling, character wise. Along the way, I hope
Mhm.
she doesn't lose the MMA aspect because that's what makes her dangerous. On top of the bubbly personality, and it's something that's unique to wrestling. We've talked about the crossover between TNA and NXT. How about MMA and NXT when it comes to her and Baszler, and,
Yeah.
and what we're going to see in Vegas at Battleground and at the UFC Apex? I'm as excited about that as anything else. Like tonight's show had literally something for everyone, and it's something you don't often see in pro wrestling. It's one of the best things about tonight's show. I think for
All right,
sure
for
it
sure.
is it covered so much ground.
All right, we're gonna do two things before we close out, right? The first one is gonna be easy. Give me one crossover match that you would like to see. TNA versus NXT. Who wanna go first?
I got mine.
All right,
I
Jersey,
got
if
Drizzy,
you're
go
ready,
ahead
go
and
mine.
start
for
out
it.
with yours.
We gotta get a four-man, a fatal four-way. Javon Evans, Wesley, Zach Wentz, and Trey Miguel. Ultimate X.
I like it. I like it. Okay. Clark?
I like that a ton. And there was one earlier, Mustafa Ali, a mention from Bobby Petito, but I'm not quite going to go that route. I'm actually going to say I want to see Moose and Obafemi. I'm going Moose
Ooh.
and
Oh my
Obafemi.
god! Oh my
Just
god, that's
Ooh.
sign up,
fire!
give me violence, and give me more violence.
Ooh.
Give me Moose and Oba, and just
Oh
let them
my,
beat each other to death.
that's
I would be
crazy.
Clark, you
delighted.
ain't trying to. Y'all
I
trying to
don't know
destroy
if
a
I,
ring. Y'all
I
trying to
don't know if
destroy
I,
a
I'm
ring.
not holding
I don't
back.
know if I, I don't know if I could beat
Just
that.
break the
I'm gonna give
ring.
y'all, mines, man. Charlie Dempsey versus Josh Alexander.
Mm,
I'd
that
like
ain't
to see
bad.
Ooh,
that.
That's a
ooh.
nasty one
Nasty.
too. That's a nasty one
There's a
too.
couple, man. Noam Dar versus Speedball, kind of nasty. Masha Slamovich versus Lola Vice. There's a couple of them
Ooh.
joints that they
Dude,
could do.
there's so many.
Mm.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, Have
Oh,
we
I got
missed
one for
anything
y'all.
that's just like
Tatum Paxley versus Killer Kelly.
um
That'd be fire.
oh that is a good one
Okay.
too, dang it.
All right.
Um
All right. We
trying
got
to think of
one
what
last
else.
thing. All right. We close every show off with our moment of the night. We're gonna knock these ones out
Yes.
pretty quickly. We got 5 minutes. I am going to start with my good brother Clark, because you never go first. Give me your moment of the night.
I gotta go with wait a minute, which moment did we decide on for me again? Since I'm going first, I'm so sorry. I am
Pick
going with
whatever one you want.
Pick what you want.
I'm I, I'm gonna go with
So
the end of the
Clark,
night. Let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about all of that. And then all ego, Ethan Page shows up on NXT. Who saw that coming? Who in the world had Ethan Page in NXT on their bingo card? I'm so sorry, by the way. I'm so thrown by this whole Wi-Fi thing. Next time I'll be better. But yes, Ethan Page appearing on TNA on NXT, making it NXT TNA is definitely my moment of the night. But I could have picked any of the three that we're going with. I honestly short circuited there for a second. But yes, all ego, Ethan Page. He's not all elite. He's NXT. Or do we do the finger point picture? How do we do that here? Right. He's in
is he
NXT.
is
Triple H
He's
he
finger point.
NXT.
next? Is he next? Like, I don't know what we do
Well,
with that.
we'll have to see.
He's
Drizzy,
next.
let's
For
go with
me,
yours, man.
as your resident TNA Shield, I am going with the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace, coming through and telling Roxanne Perez, "I'm coming to take your belt." I have been lobbying for this for a year now, just for any type of TN. Ever since the Rumble, I ain't gonna say a year, but ever since the Rumble, I've been lobbying for this, and we are this close to making it. We're getting it. We're getting it. We are there. Battleground, Grace, Perez for the NXT title, not the TNA title because she's not good enough for that one, but the NXT title.
And I'm gonna go with mine's, man. My moment of the night. Get it sexy. Get it sexy. Is Sexy Red being the host for the upcoming NXT pay-per-view of the Battlegrounds, but more importantly, Sexy Red being in NXT in general. I am a person that is a battle rapper and I am also a wrestling podcaster. I love when hip hop and wrestling intertwine together. I'm always a mark whenever I get to see wrestlers at shows and whatnot. We always see like the Griselda guys out there and whatnot. But Sexy Red coming to NXT is a beautiful blend of them being aware and knowing that the young audience loves it and we get an opportunity to blend it in with pro wrestling. One of my favorite things in the entire world is when music artists can enter in with their own songs like we had with Bad Bunny. It's great to see. I think it's going to bring a lot of new eyes to the product and it's going to help develop uh underrated show, man. So yeah, my pick is Sexy Red. And yeah, that's all that we got
Love
for
it.
tonight, knuckleheads. Besides that, make sure you tune into the daily tomorrow. Uh,
Yeah,
you know, three
no bad,
o'clock
bad.
Eastern time, uh 2 o'clock Central time, 12 o'clock Pacific time, whatever Hawaiian time, and I don't know what time it is in
9 in
Bangladesh.
Hawaii. 9 in Hawaii. 4 a.m. in Manila.
Y'all have a blessed night, man. Thank you for rocking with us. NXT off the air.
Ski.
Absolutely.
Ski!